this video, I am going to teach you, dear viewer, the fine art of the drive.
Stick, working hard.
And no, not that kind of drive that hopefully Keely has edited in. This kind of drive. Installing your drives can be a little confusing for a first-time builder or even for someone who's looking to make their first storage upgrade. So I really wanted to make this video so that you can follow along with your own installation if you're a little uncertain and clear up any questions that you may have about storage drives. So first off, you've got your drives. Thanks for watching. This is a hard disk drive or HDD. So this is one of the most common drives that you will see in the wild due to its relatively inexpensive cost and being pretty readily available. These are an older form of drive that has moving parts inside that actually physically stores the data for you. They do tend to be a little slower than the other options available that I'm going to go through in a minute, and a little more likely to break due to the fact that there are moving parts inside. So please do be careful with these boys if you choose to go with one. Next, you've got your SSDs. Now these are a new type of storage option that is becoming more and more popular. They use flash memory to write data digitally, so there are no moving parts here. This does tend to make them a bit more expensive, but not as much as they used to be. Now there are two types that we've got here today, which are your 2.5-inch SSD. We've also got this M.2 NVMe SSD as well. All three of these drives do the same thing, essentially, which is store data, but they're all installed a little bit differently into your system. So let's dive right into it, but also please feel free to use the chapters below to skip ahead to any of the drives if you don't want to hear me waffle on about all three of them. So first up, we've got the 3.5-inch HDD. Now this type of drive needs two main things to function. First up is going to be power. Now this comes through your power supply through one of these, which is a SATA power cable. So one end of these, which is this end, just goes into the back port of the drive that you can see, and just goes in like so. Now we have power, but there's actually no way for your PC to detect that it's there, so we're going to need this cable next. Now this is a SATA data cable. This cable is going to plug in on this second port that you can see here. So it plugs into this second port on your HDD. Now that this is all plugged in, it's time for the fun part. We're going to move around now to this side of the system because I'm going to show you where the SATA data cable goes into your motherboard. So what you want to do is look roughly around towards the sort of bottom right-ish on the side of your motherboard. You may have seen these before, and if you've never built before, you're probably like, what the heck are they? So those are actually your SATA data ports. So these lanes are what sends the information from your PC to the drives to store. So you're gonna wanna put this end, which was the L-shaped end that went into the drive. This sort of flatter end goes into here. It basically only goes in one way, like you're not really going to be able to get it in the other way, so you should hear a little click and that'll tell you that it's in. Okay, so your HDD is now hooked up. Feel free to mount it in your case if you haven't already. So the mounting options are going to differ depending on what sort of case that you have. Some cases will have drive cages that you can just slot it straight into. Some cases you have to screw something on top of the case. Others just screw directly into the case, so it's going to really depend on what kind of case you have. Next, let's install a 2.5-inch SSD. Now these install quite similarly to HDDs, needing both a SATA power cable and SATA data cable plugged in as well. These also get inserted onto one of the SATA data ports on the motherboard side. As I mentioned, the other side of the SATA data port goes into the front on the motherboard side. Mounting wise, often 2.5-inch SSDs have little mounting plates that look a little bit like this, that you can actually mount the SSD directly onto. but sometimes you also even can put them into the larger 3.5-inch kind of mounting cages as well, depending again on your case. Some even allow you to mount them in the front if you want to show them off and they look really, really fancy, such as on your PSU shroud or on the motherboard side. Fun fact. Alright, last up we have the newest of the bunch, the M.2 NVMe SSDs. Now these little guys are a little bit different than the previous drives we went through because they actually insert directly onto your motherboard. So for this reason, there's actually no need for SATA power or SATA data cables here. Simply locate the M.2 slots, which may actually be covered over with the heatsink like they are today on this lovely Gigabyte motherboard that our pals over there sent us. We've got one slot up here and then there's also a bunch under this heatsink below as well. Determine the best one for your particular drive. Definitely check with your motherboard manual here because some lanes are going to actually potentially be faster than others, and then you can just slot it on in. I'd recommend going in on a bit of an angle and really make sure that it's fully inserted in there. Then gently push it down and either use the included baby screw, or if you've got a cool modern motherboard, rotate the lock mechanism around to secure it in place. Now either place the heatsink back on top if you did take it off, remembering to remove any plastic covering on the internal thermal pads if they have any, and it is inserted. Congratulations, you did it. But don't think I'm going to leave you high and dry right there. Oh no, because there is another step to installing a new drive that can give you the sweats if you don't know that it's coming. And that is that once you install new drives, you actually need to initialize them on your PC. I'm now in a new set, ooh, magic, to go through initializing disks. So your first step after turning on your PC with your new fresh drive installed is going to be heading over to disk management, which you can do by right-clicking on the start menu. This little box will pop up straight away, prompting you to initialize your new disk. All you got to do here is ensure GBT is selected, press OK, and the drive will be registered. But it does not have a space allocated for its location yet. To do this, right-click on the volume and select New Simple Volume. Follow the prompts. Assign the new driver letter if you wish, and ensure it's NTFS unless you're a whiz with different formats, and in which case I'm not quite sure why you're watching this video anyway. Use default, and then feel free to change the name of the drive if you like. Click next, and then finish. Congratulations, your drives are now initialized. And there we have it, I officially bestow you with your driver's license. Well, the storage driver's license. Anyway, if this video did actually help you, please let us know by leaving it a thumbs up. And if you have any other questions, of course, about drives or PC tech, please feel free to leave them below in the comments. Let's help each other out. It'll be great. We will see you in the next video. Goodbye.